Oh, look, I'm so big in the shot. Ah! Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, we are about to see Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Very excited to see it. And yeah, so just us tonight. We have Wookiee over this way, but he doesn't want to go, which I get because, you know, he had a long day and he has a big day tomorrow at work. So,
yeah.
You guys excited?
Yep.
There's a lot of hype for this movie. I hear it's really good.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to review it when we come back. So we'll talk to you more then.
Okay.
My Captain Marvel shirt.
It looks distorted.
Hello.
All right, hello guys, we're back, and sorry for the weird angle again. We will, I don't know, I think this kind of works, and we did one review already for our Hidden World, which we really enjoyed, and we just saw Captain Marvel. Yep. So what do you guys think?
Overall, I thought it was good. I think Samuel L. Jackson was the best part of it, because a lot of the time in the other ones, he's very serious and reserved, and this one, he's a little more comedic, and he's in all of the movie, which I really like.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun.
Main character.
Yeah. I agree. I really like seeing him, and he has his two eyes, so the whole time I was kind of thinking, like, oh, how is he going to lose his eye in this movie?
I feel like they could have done a little better with the character of Captain Marvel, because she always felt like she didn't really have that much of a personality, and I felt like they were trying to make the movie funny, and then didn't succeed a lot of the time, and it just felt cringy. But at the same time, I did really like a lot of the comedy that was there. It's just a lot of time, I don't know, it was something about the comedy. People were laughing in there, and I just didn't feel it.
Yeah. I think sometimes, too, with the Marvel Universe, and I think they do, of course, we all do, they do a wonderful job with the humor, and they mix up a lot of stuff, like the drama and everything kind of works, or always works, but we're so used to it that I think we expect something different, and then sometimes when it's like, it's the same kind of humor, it's kind of like, oh, okay. I really enjoyed it. I was laughing. I was one of those geeks that was just, you know, laughing out loud at everything.
Now, we may be wrong here, but this is us coming directly from the theater, but there seems to be a weird retcon thing that
might be difficult to explain, and I feel like they could have just used a different power source instead of time.
Instead of the Tesseract.
Although, the fact that it was the Infinity Stone could potentially play into Infinity War. I mean, the Endgame.
With the retcon thing, from what I can tell, they might be able to fix this if they explain it, but I'm not very sure they will, and I think it'll just be convoluted. With the Tesseract towards the end, we see it in the Avengers in modern day, and it was in the ice with Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense why the Kree this Kree lady would have it, and then not only have it, but be using it, and then the cat swallowed it, and then it's on Nick Fury's desk.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense. How is it in the ice with Steve? Unless that's somehow a cover-up, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Now, I have a silly question, a naive question, because I can't remember, but I know when they found, you know, Steve Rogers and they took him out of the ice, did they find the Tesseract right at that point? Did they see that?
Yeah,
I don't
remember. Right next to him.
Oh, okay, okay. So that is really interesting, and Marvel does really...
And it was frozen, too.
Explain a lot of...
So that's kind of weird.
So I'm hoping that they'll come up with something, because I'm sure that'll drive us nuts. Or if you guys have any speculation on that, please let us know, because, you know, we're very curious about that.
But there is an explanation that we're just going to look up after this.
I know, but, so curious.
There's also the Nick Fury eye thing, and I sort of like it and I sort of don't. Because I like the comedic element of it, and how he refuses to tell anyone that he just got scratched by an alien cat thing
that had surprisingly like acidic or something claws. That might explain it.
I mean, I sort of like it
how it went.
But at the same time, I don't really like how they built it up in the other ones, and then it's just some alien cat scratching him, and then that's it. It feels like I felt like they were gonna do something a little more climactic, like someone was gonna be a Skrull, and then
that's what everyone thought.
Yeah, and then they heard
I totally thought that too. I thought they were gonna like attack him thinking he was a Skrull or something, and he was gonna lose his eye in a battle. But yeah, like I was
sort
really
of like
shocked
it
by
for the
that.
comedic element.
Yeah.
But like
I really liked it.
Overall,
for
the story,
like okay.
Yeah, but when you watch Winter Soldier again, when you rewatch it, and he says that really pretty cool thing where he says, "The last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye," and it doesn't have the same kind of impact now that you know that it's just from a freaking cat.
It's true. I'm laughing because like I easily accepted it after I was shocked by it, but yeah, it was kind of like a huge build up and then kind of like a very silly, result, I guess. I thought that cat alien creature was going to have like some kind of, like you were saying, like some kind of acid in his claws or something, or like infect him in some way.
Yeah,
and then
which would explain how his eye went white.
I was also kind of curious as well because when he first got scratched, I was like, oh, well, maybe, I kind of thought, I hope they don't do something ridiculous as he gets infected by this cat and gets some weird, like, power through his eye that we haven't noticed yet, because sometimes they're so, like, far-fetched on everything, and they try to put a lot of humor into it.
Yeah,
so I'm like, watch, like, tentacles come out of his eyes or something.
Some of the
like,
weird space humor with a lot of the creatures kind of remind me of Guardians of the Galaxy, especially because
I kind of like that.
Because they had Ronan in it.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like how they put him
I feel like
in
they could have made his voice deep so then
I wonder if that has something to do with, like, didn't they resurrect him or something? They had to do all this stuff and he was in the...
Oh, no, he was in, like, some cryo thing.
Yeah,
he was being brought back, but...
Then his voice got deeper because he hit puberty and grew standards. I don't know, but yeah, I totally hear that.
I just feel like they could have made that a little more consistent.
I do like how they used the cat, though, because it felt like it was just a cool little side character, and I did hear from somewhere that it ended up being important, and I thought, and I liked it as a comedic element, and also I thought that with that one scene where he was taking down a bunch of the guards in the hallway,
Groot.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Groot. Yeah,
I totally thought that. Yeah, I totally thought
very much reminded me of that.
Also,
Groot scene.
I kind of like how they set up that one. I can't remember his name, but that one character from Guardians of the Galaxy that was working for Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was an interesting
because you could
way
see,
to set that up slowly.
You could see he was very loyal to him because he was about to say the location, but then the guy stopped him.
And he
so
you
could tell. You could tell he was very
loyal
to Ronan.
I was kind of hoping they would show like how he got like the metal, because part of his like his eye.
I thought that
his face was
Captain Marvel was
robotic.
gonna like blast parts of his head off, and then he didn't need it.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think about Captain Marvel herself? Like,
I thought she was a decent character.
I think they could have put a little more better writing for her.
Yeah.
I mean,
her
I'm glad that her
was a little iffy.
I'm glad that her personality wasn't just woman.
Yeah.
But like they flopped certain places, but overall I think they did a good job at least trying to give her a personality.
Yeah. I like how she was like playful and she liked to joke a lot and mess around with her friends and comrades, quotation, because the Kree weren't really her friends. But I love how with that thing that was on her neck, and we thought that was actually her power, like that's what harnessed her power in the beginning, because they kept saying...
No, it's a limiting thing.
It was, but the Kree kept saying that we can take the power away, almost like that was part of her power. Like she didn't realize that was actually controlling her.
And she even said, then why would you give me this? Like they gave it to her.
Yeah, so it was totally like just to keep her under control without her knowledge,
Yeah.
And
I feel like they honestly, sorry to interject.
No, it's fine.
But I feel like they could have still gave her the amnesia, but just revealed everything at the beginning, so that way we're immediately doubting these people's.
Then again,
they don't have to specifically say that the Skrull are good. Or I mean, they don't have to like say that, but they could have showed her origins like right off the bat, and then we're immediately doubting these people.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reveal that the Skrull are good happened a little too early in the movie as well.
Yeah. I kind of like the pace that's different. I love how, first of all, that we have different opinions, but that's what makes it cool, too, because I like discussing this.
Also, I like how instead of making it... this is something that I noticed that I think everyone can agree is kind of a problem with a lot of Marvel villains. It's the fact that they just kind of exist... They're just evil for the sake of being evil, and then there's no redeeming qualities. They fix that with Thanos, though. But, and also in Ant-Man and the Wasp, I noticed that the characters, the villain, actually, was just very relatable.
Yeah.
And, well, not necessarily relatable, but just not a complete ass. But pretty much with that, they basically made you sympathize with the villain.
Yeah. At least to some degree.
Yeah, and made them actual people.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
I do too. I was going to say that as well. And I'll be giving more of a review too. Mom and Kim are not going to watch this in theaters. They're going to watch it on disc and digital. So we'll make sure they do it blind on the channel. They prefer to do that anyways.
Yeah.
So I'll give more of a detailed review then as well. I love to hear your opinions. And just to say really quick, yeah, like I really like that how they showed like, oh yeah, they're villains. The Kree really, the Skrulls actually looked really evil in the beginning too. And then they kind of blended that midway through that they were actually good.
Yeah.
And trying to survive and save their families.
Also, most of the, like in the comics, the Kree and the Skrull were both villains. But here, so you were always kind of I expected like Ronan to go out on his own, kind of become his own faction, but it seems more like he just became the leader of it.
Yeah, it seems like that.
And then, I mean, clearly not all of them think of it like that. If you remember Guardians of the Galaxy, but still.
Yeah, and just saying really quick too, it's really cool to see these characters come in that we saw before on Guardians of the Galaxy. That was neat. And going back to Captain Marvel, I did like the fact that they paced it out where she had these amazing powers and just lightly touching on it, but kind of reminded me a bit of Superman, of course, that she has these amazing abilities that are super powerful. And instead of showing that in the beginning, kind of building up to it where it was like, holy crap, she is this like really scary threat to anyone that's against her.
That amount of power, and she probably got even more powerful going on because she had time to practice with it for like
while she was battling
30 years.
She was able to battle with the Kree and everything, and really learn some skills and just to unleash all that power after she took that chip off her neck.
And
I thought that was really interesting.
And that shows that she's really going to be able to fight Thanos. And even if he does still have the Infinity Stones, and even if maybe they don't even fight him. Maybe there's a new character because he seems pretty content with what he's doing. But still, even if they do fight him, her connection to the stone will probably play a part in Endgame.
Oh yeah, I can see that. And again, like I think she's going to be like extremely powerful probably by the time Avengers 4 comes out because again, like, you know, like you guys were saying too, that she learned a lot already with her powers and I can't imagine what it's going to look like in that
30
movie.
years later.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's so crazy. I really do like Captain Marvel, Carol's best friend. She was amazing. And again, a lot of good acting in this, but I thought her acting was very good and very emotional when she was talking about how she missed her best friend, realizing that, you know, she was still alive and she thought she died 6 years ago. That was actually very emotional, and I thought that was well done. And of course, the Skrulls, I thought that was emotional too. And even though it was very well done, it was very basic on like the humanoid aliens that were very much like us that we can really relate to.
Yeah,
so
but they still looked
really
pretty
worked.
weird compared to other races.
Yeah, but it's at least did a good job, I think, though.
The Kree looked more like people.
Yeah, they had a few people that... They had
true.
A few people that actually looked like humans, and then they had a few that were just blue people. So it wasn't
like
too
they add
weird.
more like different details on their faces and stuff and like prosthetics and but yeah, I thought they did a really good job, and as you know, as different as creatures can look, they do such a believable job on them even up close, and even how they're like the Skrulls' ears would twitch and everything while they were like feeling stuff. Like it was pretty cool to see that. But yeah, so I really love what Marvel does. Again, the movie is, I want to say, like a slower pace for most of the movie because a lot of the Marvel movies that we've seen, of course, like are super action-packed and crazy.
Yeah.
But I really like how they did this because the storyline really like pulled you in to let, you know, to make you feel for the characters and who these people were in Carol's life. So it was slower, but it was really cool also, like you were saying in the beginning, to see Nick Fury and how he was so early on. And then he came up with Avengers from the plane, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like how they set up certain things, though. It felt like it was just a little like, oh, look.
Like a goof
it almost seems like a fan fiction with that amount of stuff. It's like, oh, look, they're responsible for this thing, even though it really didn't need an explanation. And it just seems like you're trying to take credit for it. You know, it didn't need an explanation.
Yeah, it is fun sometimes when they try to bring things in and try to make you like, oh yeah, cool, like nostalgia or whatever, trying to like piece puzzles together. But sometimes I know it doesn't always work. But But yeah, so all in all, I think Captain Marvel was a really good movie. I highly enjoyed it, and I know all of you watching, of course, I'm going to put warnings saying there's spoilers all through this video. And this is our second one that we've done. We did one with Mom and Kim a long time ago, but again, they love to watch from the comfort of our home because they can just do what they want, and I want them to be genuine. I don't want them to feel reserved and not to say anything. So, and we love doing blind reactions. But yeah, and I don't go to the theater a lot, so I love taking them. It's fun. So we hope to do this more often.
We love
Let us know if you
draining
like these
your
reviews. Never. We love it. No, you guys are amazing, but that was a cool review. So you guys liked it?
Yep.
For the most part? Yeah, it was good. Awesome. And I guess my favorite character, of course, was Carol and Nick Fury, you know? Yeah. And Goose. I love Goose. I really did like Goose.
Goose is our god.
He's so amazing. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon as always. I keep looking at the wrong spot. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Watch Shrek Retold.